right, welcome to episode 2, AKMMA Podcast. Just sitting down. I'm ready to talk about some fun stuff. Of course, it's always a crazy week in MMA here. UFC. We're going to be reviewing UFC Tampa, of course. Looking forward to the next card coming up, Boston. Dominic Reyes, Chris Weidman. Let's see, who else is on that? Yair Rodriguez, Jeremy Stevens. It's coming up, ladies and gents. Let's get it. All right, so first is going to be the UFC Tampa review. Let me go ahead here real quick, try and pull up this Tampa review here. Or I guess the Tampa card. Boom, boom, boom. Miguel Baeza, Caramel Thunder. That's one thing I definitely remember from Tampa. Let me see. Where's the card at? Here we go. Results. Thank you. All right, yep. This was actually a pretty exciting card, guys. I watched probably 75% of it. Was in and out a little bit, but the main card definitely got in there. Saw quite a few of the prelims. Anyways, Miguel Baeza beat up Hector Aldana, leg kicks and elbows. Oof. That was a fun fight. Going up the card, Tim Elliott, I'm not even going to try and say it. Davison, the Brazilian, Figueiredo maybe, I don't know. Anyways, he choked out Tim Elliott, but it was a little bit of a extra squeeze when he shouldn't have been, It was one of those situations that makes people feel uncomfortable, I feel like. But anytime anybody does that in the UFC, they don't ever really say anything, so who gives a shit, I guess. Going up the card, Mike Davis, Thomas Gifford. This was another one that was talked about a lot because Thomas Gifford should have been done in the first round, in my opinion. But the ref kept letting him fight. And that was the last fight on that card that the commission would even let this guy ref because that was how bad it was. So you hate to see it. You really do. That's pretty shit. It was pretty shit, I'm going to be honest. Anyways, next fight, the prelim main fight, whatever. Ryan Spann, Superman Spann, guillotine choked. I'm a big fan of Ryan Spann. It's a good guy. We like to see that. Going up to the main card, Eric Anders. I'm pretty sure I was wrong on this fight. It was a split decision, so my boy Mearshart almost got it done, but I'm also a little bit of a fan of Eric Anders. I just had that pick wrong, so it's tough. Next one, Matt Frivola, Violent Bob Ross. I actually like both guys, but I was actually rooting for Pena. I don't remember who I picked for this one. I thought maybe Matt Frivola. I think that's who I picked. But I thought, after watching the fight, I thought for sure Bob Ross won first round, second round. I mean, that first round was kind of close, but I thought he had I thought he rocked him maybe even the first round. It seemed definitely like his round to me. But they gave it to Frivola, split decision, that's fine. Both guys are good. I don't think Bob Ross is going anywhere. He has a pretty nice record. But yeah, good fight. Next one is the Mackenzie Dern-Ribas fight. Wow. This was so weird to me because Mackenzie's obviously been working on her striking. It looked a little bit better, but I don't think she tried hard enough to get to her strengths. And really, she just got outworked. And, shout out to Ribas. She did a really good job. There's no controversy on the win, Dern just got pieced up, to be honest. So next was, oh my God, Nico Price beat up James Vick with an up kick, bro. This kid just knocks people out in any way, every way freaking possible. This dude is magical. That's the word for it. It's incredible. In his home state, the crowd was roaring. It was amazing. I remember, oh, man. incredible fight. He took an extra couple punches, James Vick did, man. I hate seeing that guy. I was never a huge James Vick fan, but I literally hate seeing him get knocked out now, and I'm not the one to tell people to retire, but enough is enough, man. That is so many KOs and just extra damage, and he's never going to be the same, dude. That's all I'm going to say. That's a little depressing. All right, Cub Swanson, Crone Gracie, co-main event of the evening. Unanimous decision for Cub. Crone, similar to the Dern fight, it was fight of the night. It was a great fight, but, Gracie came out and didn't want to fight his... I guess maybe that was he wanted to, because it ended up being that kind of stand-up fight, but, I really wish Gracie could have gotten more towards his strengths, but Cub did a good job keeping him away, I guess, but I just wished Gracie could have kept it going, because the undefeated, we don't get that very often, but still, they'll both be moving forward. I think Cub has some opportunities still, even though he's quite the veteran. Let's see where they both can go still, because, one's kind of in that, lower top 15, top 20. I don't know. He might not be ranked anymore, but Cub Swanson's always been a name in that division. And I don't think Crone's going anywhere, because he's just getting started in MMA. The main event, Joanna Waterson. I'm going to be honest with you. We had quite a few people over, and in the main event, we necessarily weren't watching it all that closely. This is kind of what we thought would happen in the fight. Joanna's just so good. And Waterson actually did have a couple of good opportunities when she took Joanna's back, but Joanna's been there, done that, and I think she's in that talk now to get another title shot, which the champion not being Rose is a good thing for her. So I think that if Tatiana's not ready, it could definitely happen. So we'll see. We will see. That's pretty much the whole card there. Fight of the night, like I said, was Crone and Cub. Performance bonuses, I believe. Maybe Nico and somebody else. Not exactly sure, but still, really fun card. Really good. Miguel Baeza, Caramel Thunder. Those were my highlights. And Chito Vera got a big win. That was fun. He's a interesting guy, man. That was a really good fight from him, and I think he's one of those guys that could be up in the talks to start getting some big fights. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Sean O'Malley was slated to fight him. And then that may have been the fight where he popped for whatever drug he was on. And we still haven't seen Sean O'Malley since. And I just want to know what's going on with that dude, if he has a fight, or dude, is he actually on the drugs or what? What's happening here, So that's interesting, and that sucks. What's next for the top 3 winners from Tampa? That's the question we're posing here next. Nico Price. Beating a guy like James Vick, especially in his debut, I don't think does a super ton for you, but it was such an emphatic highlight knockout that he's still, an exciting guy, and I think he could start co-maining some of these cards and, maybe even a pay-per-view co-main. I think he's maybe a fight or two away from, real main event slots. If he keeps this up, he could definitely be towards the title run pretty quickly if he keeps repeating what he does, because this guy's crazy and just knocks everybody out. So I love Nico Price. Fun to watch. Cub Swanson, I guess we kind of touched on what's next for him. He's not really... he's going to have to really string something together to get close to a title, but he's still, he's still hanging around. Joanna, though, we kind of talked about her too. What's coming up next? So we'll just move on. Mike Perry has been in talks recently, been just throwing his name out there for potential fights, namely Robbie Lawler, who just had his opponent fall out, I believe. So, I mean, dude, I always want to see Mike Perry fight. Robbie Lawler is also a very similar fighter in that he will bring the action and fun, and just those guys are going to get bloodied up, and if they make that is genius. I will throw dollars at that. That's a really, really fun one. Also, I think Nico Price called out Mike Perry after his win. So Mike Perry looks like he's got some options here, So maybe they do the Lawler one. That might be a stretch. I don't know if Robbie's really interested in that kind of name, because I forget who Robbie was supposed to fight. Was it Thompson? I don't know. But no, Thompson's fighting somebody else, right? I don't know. But either of those fights, Nico Price or Robbie Lawler for Mike Perry, would be really fun. I love seeing that dude fight. He's going to be dripping blood. All right, next up, Demetrius Johnson. The guy just keeps winning. He's the champion now over at 1FC. I'm not super huge into their promotion. To be honest with you, I've really only watched a few of their events so far. Obviously the Ben Askren and DJ trade was huge, and that kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes. And, the fact that DJ keeps winning, he's got the belt now, hopefully that'll keep helping progress that a little bit. And, man, who doesn't want to see him versus Henry Cejudo now? The cross promotion, 1FC, Demetrius versus Henry for the 125 belt. Not too many people are talking about this right now, but everybody is talking about Joey B having to be the next title challenger to Henry, right? Down the weight class instead of bantamweight where Henry just fought. But what about 125 for Demetrius and Henry? I don't know. That could be interesting. That's all I'm saying. I've got ideas. All right, we're going to move on to Aspen Ladd. She's appealing her loss to GDR, Jermaine. She got knocked out in like 16 seconds, right? Like, what are you appealing? Dude, I'm pretty sure that was also the weigh-in where she looked like real scary, not well. You didn't really look ready for the fight either. So when you got knocked out quick, how are you going to appeal that? I don't know about that. You're wasting your money. Wasting your money if that costs money. That's pretty fucking dumb. We're going to move on. Next up is the next card. We already touched on it a little bit. Dominic Reyes, Chris Weidman headlines UFC Boston. We also got Yair Rodriguez, Jeremy Stevens, banger fight. Last one got ruined by an eye poke, like 12 seconds into the fight or something. We also got Greg Hardy. My Lord. I don't know his opponent. I've never heard of his opponent. Eventually he's going to have to face some tough opponents, and, the sooner he gets wiped out, the better, in my opinion. We're just not going to keep talking about him. Joe Lozon. That's a name from way back, I feel like. Versus Jonathan Pierce. Macy Barber, Jillian Robertson. Now, this is a banger fight. This is like a potential, contender knockoff matchup. Whoever wins this is really close to that title picture. So that's a really exciting one. Darren Wynn, Darren Stewart, both of these guys are going to want to come out and bang. Wynn is obviously going to be looking for a takedown, wrestling, ground and pound him out. submission, whatever. He's pretty nice on the ground, so we'll see if we'll see if he can get it done against Darren Stewart, somebody who's kind of dangerous, real dangerous. Prelims: Manny Bermudez, Charles Rosa. Oh, Meatball Molly, Kyle Bochniak, Kevin Holland, Boston Salmon versus Randy Kosa. Now that's a freaking banger, dude. That's a banger. That's going to be a really exciting fight. I can't wait to watch some of these. Exciting stuff. All right, so I'm going to pick 2 prelims that I think you guys need to tune into. I'm going to do that every week, hopefully. We'll just 2 to 3, depends on the card, but we're going to go through some of the prelims. Obviously, the Randy Costa Boston Salmon, that's my number 1 prelim. You got to watch. Absolute fireworks. And, man, Manny Bermudez is pretty decent. Molly's decent. Man, I don't know. I'm thinking Kyle Bochniak, Sean Woodson. That sounds like a good one, too. Okay, we'll go with that. Kyle Bochniak. That's a good name, too. All right, we're going to go to the main card picks real quick. Darren Wynn versus Darren Stewart, man. I think Darren Wynn's actually a pretty good prospect. So far, he hasn't, super wowed me, but I don't think we've gotten necessarily his best, performances every time. And I think he may have already gotten at least 1 loss in the UFC. I'm not 100% certain on that, but he's a pretty well-known prospect that I think he can definitely get it done against Darren Stewart as long as he, stays safe and plays his game. So we'll go with Darren Wynn, decision. Macy Barber, Jillian, man, that's such a good fight. I don't know who the hell to pick. I wonder who's favored in that. I don't have that ready, but I wonder who's favored, because I would definitely just go with the underdog because, Jesus, it's a tough one to pick. But just because I think she's got the promotional push and what they want to happen would definitely be Macy. And also I think she's a little bit more well-rounded. So I'm definitely going to side with Macy, but that's I would never put money on that. It's too close. Too close. All right, Joe Lozon's the next fight. I'm going to just go with him. Don't know his opponent whatsoever. Greg Hardy. It's the next fight up. I've never heard of his opponent, but I'm going to root for his opponent and pick him because this dude's going to get exposed eventually. Next is the Yair Jeremy Stevens fight. I don't even know if I had a pick in that last one when they were slated up just a little bit ago. I don't know if I even ever challenged myself to pick that fight because I was just so excited. I knew it'd be fireworks and, flat tire. So I think this time around it's almost tough because all of this, you don't know who it's going to favor, how crazy it's been between them two. Even after the fight, they're in the freaking lobby being crazy. So who's going to get affected by all the craziness more? And I think Jeremy Stevens is a guy that I really see staying, steady, sturdy. He's been around the game. He knows not to get too emotionally involved. And I think Yair is a little bit of a younger guy. And Jeremy Stevens will have that edge and get it done. Knock him out second round. But that'll be a banger fight. Hopefully they actually get to fight and go to a finish that feels good, Not a night poke. Okay. Dominic Reyes, Chris Weidman. I've been contemplating this one a lot, man. Because I really believe in Dominic Reyes, even though a lot of people think he should have lost to Ozdemir, I believe. I think he's the real deal, man. He's pretty dang good. And, outside of John Jones, I think he's probably the best guy right now. So I think he's going to get it done. But Chris Weidman, this is also his debut, I believe, at 205. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see, man. Chris Weidman has a lot of talent, obviously a former champ. And man, I don't know what to think of this fight, to be honest with you. It's a banger. Should be fun. This card is pretty stacked. I'm excited for it. I don't know if there's any other news really to unpack. Let me find. I think that's all we got for you guys today. So I appreciate you tuning in to the second episode here, the AKMMA Podcast. We'll see you next time.